Now, what in the carnival is going on here? So believe it or not, we have yet another shocking and unexpected update when it comes to the Carnival Pride story, series, drama, whatever it is you want to call it. As a lot of carnival passengers that are set to sail on the Carnival Pride tomorrow for July 24th feel bamboozled, betrayed, disrespected, slapped in the face after Carnival made a move that, well, I'll be honest, wasn't very nice, and I'm honestly a little jealous myself too. Now, I'm gonna give you all the details of this story. However, I do want to address the cruise ship in the room. I had no intention of continuing on with this story because there's so many other things going on in the cruise space. Like, for example, allegedly there was a stabbing on board a Norwegian ship. Also, a fight that took place allegedly amongst some teens on board a Disney ship. But we'll get to all that jazz tomorrow. This story is like the sequel of a movie that literally nobody asked for, but for some reason gets the green light anyway. Now we're gonna go ahead and get right into the story. However, just a couple updates. I did just arrive in Dover, UK from London just a couple hours ago in preparation for my sailing on board the Carnival Pride tomorrow. I've also been hearing murmurs and whispers and rumors that the ambassador of Carnival, John Held, will be on board tomorrow, supposedly. We'll see how all that goes. Also, as usual, I will be documenting my entire time on board the Carnival Pride. That way you can see how all this played out. The videos will be on my second channel, Jay the Nomad. That's kind of like my vlog slash live action channel. And of course, once the cruise has concluded, I will be putting out a very thorough, in-depth, objective review of my entire experience. So first of all, if you don't have the context or backstory of this whole situation, go watch my last two videos and it'll explain everything in full depth. But just to get the plot points in, we all know the Carnival Pride unfortunately broke down and suffered some propulsion issues on its previous cruise, causing the ship to be stuck essentially over in Germany until they saw repairs. And in the meantime, people like myself that was supposed to be originally on the cruise on July 21st, well, we were sitting around kind of twiddling our thumbs, figuring out what we were going to do as we waited for Carnival to confirm what exactly was going to happen. Was the cruise going to be canceled? Are we going to have a shorter cruise? Are we going to be transferred to another Carnival Corporation ship like with Princess or P&O? We didn't know for about 24 hours. During this time, with many of the passengers in limbo, a lot of passengers either canceled their flights that hadn't came in from the US because, as you could imagine, with Carnival being primarily a United States cruise line, a lot of the passengers were coming in from, you guessed it, the US. As for passengers that were already over in Europe, they decided to pivot and make other plans because they didn't want to sit around and wait to see what Carnival was going to do. However, about 48 hours or so ago, roughly, Carnival came out and basically gave all of us an ultimatum. Either we can continue to sail on a shorter itinerary, which would be 6 days. They're going to give us onboard credit $500. They're going to be giving us a Wi-Fi for 3 days, a 3-day refund, and just all kinds of trinkets and gifts and apologetic gestures like the drink package. So a lot of people did also, of course, say, you know what, fine, we're going to go ahead and jump on the cruise. However, Carnival said that if you decided to cancel at that point in time, you had until 5 p.m. Eastern time back in the United States, whenever their office closed, to finally make a decision as to if you were going to cancel or not. If you decided to cancel, then you would be getting a 100% refund, as well as 100% future cruise credit, which obviously was not a bad deal for a lot of people. I can now confirm via emails that I personally received, as well as hanging around the Facebook forums and Reddit groups for this particular sailing, that, as you can imagine, a portion of people decided to just go ahead and cancel their vacation plans altogether, go ahead and take the refunds, the future cruise credit, and plan their vacation of a lifetime for another day. Some decided to make plans since they were already in Europe, meaning that there were a significant amount of available cabins for the Carnival Pride for this particular sailing that I'd be taking tomorrow. So here's where the conundrum is for this entire situation that a lot of passengers are angry about now. Originally, before the propulsion issues and breakdown of the Carnival Pride, the ship was supposed to be at 100% occupancy. I barely got in. I guess somebody canceled and I was able to get an insider cabin. However, I wanted to try to see if I can upgrade or pay for a balcony or even an ocean view. I'll talk about that in a minute. I want you to take a look at this flyer over here, and please bear with me for a second because there is a lot more to discuss and maybe it'll make a little bit more sense for all of you. Notice how rushed this little flyer in design here is. They couldn't even spell ocean right on the prices. So you see at the bottom barrel price for 350 pounds or about 450 US dollars, you can get an ocean view. Keep in mind this is for double occupancy, so you got to double that to 700 or $900 US, does not include port fees and taxes. For my insider cabin, I paid over $3,000. My room initially came with $500 of onboard credit, and then we had a little slip up where they accidentally added a second person named guest number 2, and they gave me the port fees and taxes back. I then had about $900 of onboard credit plus the 500, giving me about $1,400 of onboard credit. Not a bad deal, but this is all, of course, due to the situation that happened with the propulsion issues. At first, I thought this flyer was fake. That is, of course, until I got confirmation from multiple residents here in the United Kingdom showing me their confirmation emails of this specific offer. Once it became official that this was real, then, as you could imagine, myself, like many others, well, we were pissed. The problem that a lot of people are facing is that at the time, a lot of people were alleging that around 1,700 people were supposed to be sailing on the ship that I'm sailing on tomorrow, instead of the typical, I believe it's like 2,100 that can fit on this ship. And a lot of people were calling, myself included, trying to get an upgrade. We went to the website, we tried to call Carnival, and we finally got a hold of Carnival. We were told that the ship was 100% full. This is before Carnival slid that deal in for the UK residents to be able to also come on the ship at a fraction of the price. I do have to be clear here when it comes to this topic and say that part of this is being a little petty. It is being jealous. I have no shame in admitting that. And one end, you can say that this is just good business. Carnival was able to cut out one end and grab another subset of people that were potentially going to bring in more profits for them. The world is not fair, go cry me a river. However, I also think that within the same breath, you have a lot of people that stayed loyal to Carnival, love Carnival Cruise Line, have been through hell and back with this particular situation, and is still kind of rolling with the punches with a positive kind of mindset and still going on this cruise and not really complaining about it. But then they find out that if they were able to get like an upgrade or maybe a cheaper cruise, it is not available to them, the already paying passengers. However, some other people just get emailed some random super deal, and all of a sudden they're able to get the same exact cruise that they paid triple the price for a fraction of the amount. I'll tell you right now, if I had known about that deal being available, I would have canceled, taken the refund, taken the 100% future cruise credit, called one of my buddies over here in the United Kingdom and had them go ahead and sign in and get me that deal that Carnival was offering. I would think on that front, it is kind of wrong and it's kind of messed up for Carnival to do that, seeing as how everybody has now been made aware of it and seeing how Carnival went out of their way to really rush this job. Again, just look at the print of the flyer here. There was no time put into this. They were saying, you know what, how can we do an extra cash grab without letting the passengers that have already paid somewhat benefit, upgrade their room, or get any extra little giblets out of this situation. Maybe it's just me. This is, for many of you out there, a non-issue. It is what it is. Carnival is just doing business. I just wish they had told me that there was actually rooms available, because for me personally, I would have been willing to pay extra money just to go ahead and get a balcony, because I only took the Insider because that was the only one that was available. But I guess I'll have to check on it tomorrow. But of course, let me know your thoughts on this story in the comment section below. And I want to be clear out here, for somebody attacks me, I know somebody will, I'm still very upbeat and positive about this situation. I'm ready to go on my cruise tomorrow. I'm excited all the same. I do, of course, however, understand the grievances and frustrations that many of the other Carnival guests are having, and I do believe they are honestly valid, considering that a lot of these people have been with Carnival for a very long time. They are very high in the tier system with Carnival's loyalty program, and I just think Carnival should have gone about this a lot better, considering what the passengers that are already over here in Europe have already gone through. But of course, guys, again, let me know what you think. Hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't already, and well, I'll see you guys tomorrow on my other channel. Well, Tuesday, actually, on Jay the Nomad. I have a video up. I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.